Welcome back to Beyond the Battlefield. In boardrooms and startups alike, leaders struggle with the same dilemma. How do you deal with distraction? With temptation? With impulses that derail focus? Do you suppress them with rules? Do you fight them with willpower? Or is there a deeper way? This is where Krishna steps in. He tells Arjuna and us that the real battlefield isn't out there. It's inside. Not with competitors or markets, but with our own restless senses. And the only way to win is not by suppression, but by anchoring in something higher. Today, in episode 28 of Beyond the Battlefield, we uncover a 3-step leadership map hidden in verses 59 to 61 of the Gita. Why suppression doesn't work, why vigilance is non-negotiable, and how anchoring in higher purpose transforms everything. This episode is called Anchoring Leadership in Higher Purpose. So, let's begin with verse 2.59. For the embodied soul, sense objects may fall away when one abstains from them, but the taste, the subtle longing, remains. Only upon experiencing the Supreme does even that longing disappear.
Krishna is describing a very subtle law of human psychology here. If we run away from the world or suppress our senses, the objects may go away, but the taste, the pull inside, still lingers. Think of someone on a strict diet. They may stop eating sweets, but in their dreams, their mind is still tasting them. The craving hasn't left.
So, even if the plate is empty, the desire still lives in the heart?
Exactly. This is why Krishna warns, suppression is not real freedom. The senses are not the problem. The mind is. You can close your eyes, but imagination will keep creating. You can lock yourself away, but the desire remains alive within.
Then what's the real way out?
Krishna says, only when you taste something higher, the longing for the lower disappears on its own. It's like when a child grows up, their old toys naturally lose meaning. Not because someone banned them, but because life has shown them deeper joys. Similarly, when the soul experiences a glimpse of the higher truth, the taste for petty desires fades away without force.
So the real transformation is not suppression, but transcendence.
Yes, desire is not destroyed by fighting it. It is dissolved by rising above it.
So, Ankur, if I pull this verse into our world of modern leadership, it feels like Krishna is whispering, don't fight temptation with sheer willpower. Suppression may look like control, but it doesn't last.
Exactly, Jessica. Think about leadership today. A manager who tries to control every move of the team, who bans every distraction, who sets endless restrictions, may see short-term obedience. But beneath the surface, frustration is growing. Suppression doesn't transform people, it just delays the explosion.
So then what's the alternative? How does a leader really free people from distractions and pettiness?
The Gita gives us the answer. Desires don't vanish by fighting them. They fade when something higher, something deeper takes their place. For leaders, this means don't just remove distractions, awaken vision. When your team feels the higher taste of purpose, small temptations lose their grip.
Like when a startup team is so driven by their mission that late nights, missed parties, or office gossip simply don't matter anymore. Not because someone banned them, but because they've outgrown them.
Yes, that's the key. A great leader doesn't suppress ambition. they redirect it. They don't shrink desire, they expand it into service, creativity, and contribution. Krishna is saying real mastery is not control, it's transformation.
So for us, the lesson is clear. Leadership isn't about pushing down the lower. It's about lifting people toward the higher. Once the higher vision is tasted, the lower loses all charm.
True leadership is not suppression but inspiration. When people experience a higher purpose, the smaller distractions fade by themselves.
Let's turn to next verse. Verse 2.60. Even for one who strives with effort, O son of Kunti, the turbulent senses can violently carry away the mind.
Jessica, Krishna is pointing to a very humbling truth here. He says, no matter how disciplined or wise a person may be, the senses remain powerful. Like wild horses, they can pull the chariot of the mind off course at any moment.
So even a yogi, even a seeker who has practiced for years, is not completely safe?
Yes, exactly. That's the warning. Even a wise person can be swept away if they are careless for even a single moment. The senses are turbulent, outward driven. They don't rest. If the mind is not anchored in something deeper, they drag it wherever they wish.
But isn't discipline enough? Can't we just control them by willpower?
That's the mistake. Suppression or raw willpower may hold them for a while, but it creates tension. A person may close their eyes, but imagination still paints pictures. A person may fast, but their mind can remain full of food. Krishna's message is mastery doesn't come by fighting the senses, it comes by anchoring beyond them, by rising to the self, the witness, the higher center, where senses lose their grip.
So the danger is not just in the senses, but in forgetting to stay rooted?
Yes, exactly. The real risk is unawareness. One moment of carelessness and years of discipline can collapse. That's why Krishna emphasizes vigilance, not fear, but awareness.
How does this land in today's world of leadership?
Think of it this way. Even the most experienced leader can be carried away by sudden impulses, greed, ego, distraction. A CEO with decades of wisdom can lose everything with one rash decision, one unguarded moment.
Almost like corporate scandals? Leaders admired for years, but one slip, and their legacy is destroyed.
Exactly, that's verse 60. In action, intelligence alone is not enough. Focus alone is not enough. If a leader is not anchored in higher purpose, the senses of modern life, market noise, shiny trends, ego triggers can hijack them.
So what should leaders do?
Don't try to suppress distractions by force. Anchor yourself and your team in vision and values. When people are rooted in something higher, temporary pulls lose their power. Vigilance becomes natural, not stressful.
So the Gita tells us leadership isn't lost because of lack of intelligence. It's lost when impulses hijack the mind. The safeguard is purpose, awareness, and continuous vigilance.
Even the wise can be carried away. Discipline is not enough. Only higher anchoring and awareness can keep a leader steady amidst turbulence.
Now, let's move to the next verse. Verse 2.61. Having restrained all the senses, one should remain absorbed in me. For the one whose senses are under control, wisdom is firmly established.
Jessica, here Krishna is giving the key of the method. In the last verse, he warned that even the wise can be swept away by restless senses. Now he says, true mastery is possible only when you anchor yourself in the higher, absorbed in me.
So it's not just about restraining the senses, but about directing them towards something greater?
Exactly. Suppression is false control. Real control means the senses lose their power because your attention, your devotion, your energy is absorbed in the higher self, in Krishna. Then wisdom is steady, not shaky. Like rivers merging into the ocean, the senses flow, but they no longer disturb.
So it's not a fight with the senses. It's a redirection of energy.
Yes, if you only resist, you remain restless. But if you anchor in something higher, the pull of the lower disappears. That's when wisdom becomes firm.
And how does that translate for modern leaders?
For leaders, this verse is about anchoring leadership in higher purpose. A leader can't just suppress distractions or impulses in themselves or their teams. That's short-lived. But when leadership is rooted in a clear vision and values, distractions naturally lose their grip. A leader who is absorbed in mission and service radiates steadiness. Their team trusts them because their wisdom is consistent, not erratic.
So authenticity matters. If a leader only looks disciplined outwardly, but inside is restless, that's hypocrisy.
Exactly, that's false control. And people eventually see through it. Real mastery is inner alignment. When the senses are anchored in purpose, wisdom is established and leadership becomes unshakable.
So Krishna's message is timeless. Don't fight the lower. Anchor in the higher. A leader steady in purpose becomes a source of trust, clarity, and resilience.
Leadership steadiness doesn't come from suppression, but from anchoring in higher purpose. A leader devoted to vision and values becomes truly unshakable.
As we close today's journey, notice how Krishna takes Arjuna and us, step by step. First, he teaches that suppression is not freedom. Then, he warns that even the wise can slip. And finally, he shows the way. Anchor in the higher. This is not just spiritual advice, it is a leadership map. Inspire with vision. And do not forget to check out our exclusive GPT companion link in the description. BYB Interactive. It's your space to interact. Explore more insights from the Gita, or just continue the conversation at your own pace. See you next time. Till then, stay vigilant, anchor in purpose. And when you do, wisdom, clarity, and steadiness will follow.